Okay, Truckers Unite Now, let's get into some education. The U.S. federal government is composed of 3 different district branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. Powers of these 3 branches are defined and vested by the U.S. Constitution, which has been in continuous effect since May 4th, 1789. I don't know about you guys, but I'm better with pictures. So we have legislative, executive, judicial. For this video, we're going to focus on the White House, executive, President Donald J. Trump is serving right now, and the Vice President J.D. Vance. Y'all want to know why I went to the White House? This is why. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to break it down a little more. Here we go. U.S. federal government, executive branch. We're going to go down to Donald J. Trump, which he's the POTUS, the President of the United States. Then we're going to go down to the cabinets of the President from the executive branch. And we're going to keep scrolling. We're going to go right here, whoop. Then we're going to go over, whoop. Then we're going to go over, whoop. And then we're going to go to Department of Transportation. Hey. Okay, this is where it gets exciting. So I hope I haven't lost any of you yet. Here we go. Drivers, we need to focus on this stuff, and I'll explain why. Okay, we have a DOT organization chart here. It's a little confusing, but what we're going to focus on is Sean Duffy. He's at the top of the DOT altogether, Department of Transportation. And here's what I want y'all to really focus on, okay? I'm just going to focus on 3 for argument's sake right now. The FAA is the Federal Aviation Administration. It oversees the National Airspace and Air Traffic Control System. Brian Bedford is currently in office. He had a private pilot license with multiple engine and instrument ratings, serving Republic Airways for 26 years, starting in 1999. So, the head of FAA is a man who served flying for over 20 years, right? That's number 1. Check this out. The FRA, which is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, oh, I'm sorry, not the FMCSA, but the FRA is the Federal Railroad Administration. It deals with railroad safety and infrastructure. The FRA deals with railroad safety and infrastructure. And at the tip of that spear, we have Mr. David Fink. Fink has more than 45 years experience in the transportation department of the railroad and leadership, including stops at General Motors and Pan Am Railroad. So it sounds like to me, folks, that the FAA and the FRA both have men at the tip of the spear in those departments that have done the job for 20, 30, 40 years, right? Well, let me tell you some facts about the good old CSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, all right? It seems like we have a revolving door at the FMCSA, and I could probably guess why. Currently in office there is Jesse Ellison, and let me show you some history on him. Jesse Ellison is currently serving at FMCSA. Jesse Ellison serves as Chief Counsel for the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, at the U.S. Department of Transportation, ran by Sean Duffy. He was appointed to this role in January of 2025, so he's only been doing it 7-8 months, and oversees legal services for FMCSA headquarters and field offices. Mr. Ellison was previously a partner at a law firm specializing in providing comprehensive representation to the motor carrier and logistics companies. So it sounds like to me he was never a truck driver, he's never been in a truck, and he's a lawyer. With 2 decades of experience in legal profession, Mr. Ellison has advised compliance matters regulated by FMCSA, ensuring the transportation companies to relevant laws and regulations. So basically this man helps create the laws that affect our industry. For example, ELDs, right? So if the ATA and the TIA are hiring lobbyists to pay him to create these laws to slow us down, okay, to not make it a free market, to make it to where we're at today. This is why we're not making any money, drivers. This is why we need to get educated. We need to get at the head of FMCSA. We need to get somebody that has trucking experience, a real truck driver, somebody with 20 or 30 million miles or more, right? Or sorry, 2 or 3 million miles or more, 20 or 30 years experience. We need a truck driver at the FMCSA, not a lawyer. So check this out. Next month, we're gonna have a new man, Derek Barnes, and he's the nominee for FMCSA administration. It's only been 7 months. Why is there a revolving door? He will be acting in September of 2025, so this month. He is a former Florida Highway Patrol chief. His career includes decades of experience in law enforcement and roadway safety. He's not a truck driver. So, I mean, these are great men. Yes, Derek Barnes, great DOT officer, sounds like, okay? Many years in protecting Florida's highways. Awesome, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. However, 3 beautiful lives were just lost in Florida, so with all due respect, I don't think you should be at the tip of the spear. That's my opinion. I don't think you should be at the tip of the spear because laws were not being enforced. Maybe there are laws out there on the books to protect us in the trucking industry, but they're not being enforced. So drivers, there might be a law on the books. American citizens, there might be laws on the books, but they are not being enforced. And this is why I'm educating myself. This is why I started this channel, to help everybody. So Derek Barnes will now go in, and it's only been 8 months. Why is there a revolving door? Well, I have an idea. I think it's organizations that say they represent truck drivers, like the ATA, American Trucking Association. They are not for truck drivers. They're for mega fleets, and they're for brokers. They're not for us, drivers. Also, the TIA, Transportation Intermediaries Association. There are brokers, lobbyist groups to take more money from us. This is why 30 to 50, sometimes 60% of our revenue are being taken by brokers. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do a comprehensive video, detailed video on the breakdown of what operating costs are average for a truck. See, the thing I'm learning with the trucking industry, everyone, is it's like the wild, wild west out here. Only the trucking industry. It's like the wild, wild west. And it's so complicated, and it's so hard to make everybody happy. It's complicated, but I will tell you this right now. We're here for truck drivers and their families. We're here for the American truck driver and the American family. That is who we're here for. That is who we're putting the revenue back in their pockets. We're coming, we're educating ourselves, and also, I think potentially we might have a class action lawsuit on code 371.3. Brokers have to keep records for 3 years, how much money they got, how much money they received from a shipper, and how much they gave to the driver. So I ask you, was there fraud, waste, and abuse in those situations? I'm educating myself. Drivers, I encourage you to join me, and let's get it. Also, one last thing I want you guys to all be aware. It's really hard to find facts. It's really hard to find things, even online. There's so much data out there. I truly am trying my hardest to give you guys accurate information for what I find, facts over feelings. I want us all to win equally, but at the end of the day, the truck driver, in my opinion, has earned, actually it's a fact, has earned 90% of the total revenue. Everybody needs to make a living, I get it, but the American truck driver needs to be put back on top where he or she and their families belong. 86% of the industry is owner-operators and small carriers. We are the ones that truly run this country. 14% are mega fleets, and they're the ones hiring the TIA, the ATU to say that they work for truck drivers, but they don't. They pass laws through the FMCSA, through other entities, to take our hard-earned revenue. We sacrifice leaving our families. We sacrifice living in these trucks. We sacrifice long days on the road. So I say to all other folks that are dipping in our pocket, we're coming back. We're taking what's rightfully ours. And you know what? Maybe this industry isn't for you. If you think you deserve most of the revenue, maybe this industry isn't for you. The truck driver sacrifices their time, energy, and family to get the job done. If you don't like it, you can come in a truck and see what it's like. Until then, Only we have the voice. God bless, guys. Thank you.